Hey, what's up, guys? A lot of you have been asking me about this game, the Rage 2, and what happened to Rage 2? You said you played it on the PC when it came out, but you just kind of put some few screenshots here and there. Well, I did record a video. I mean, I did return this game, but I did record a video in the beginning of it where I was playing it. And of course, I recorded the whole thing in 3840 by 1080, which is the ultra wide 50-inch 32 by 9 ratio. So let's talk about the Rage 2. Now, the PC version, if you have a high-end PC, of course, you're going to benefit from the high resolution, better performance, better lighting system, better textures. Of course, you will utilize that. But how many people have a high-end PC, right? How many of you have a high-end PC? How many of you have ultra-wide screen monitors? They're like $1,000. How many of you have a really great 4K HDR monitor, right? In a really high-end rig? How many of you can actually afford a $2,000, $3,000 a really good high-end rig with a 2080 Ti, extra RAM, and all that other stuff like i9 processor, right? Let's be honest here. So yeah, of course the PC version is going to be great, but the reason I returned the PC version because I felt that I need to send a message, I need to boycott, I need to stick to my principles. And what are my principles? My principles are this: ID Software and Avalanche Studios, and of course Bethesda, who published the game, you guys need to give us a better treatment on the consoles. You need to at least give us the option on the consoles where we can choose between a performance mode or high resolution mode. You couldn't even put that into a console version. And I know that the Xbox One X can handle at least checkerboard 1440p or at least dynamic resolution between 1600p and 1800p with HDR 30 FPS. I know that this game can handle 1600 to 1800p with dynamic resolution with 30 FPS and HDR. If you guys had put the effort all these years that you've been working on this game to utilize that for the Xbox One X, I'm pretty sure PlayStation 4 Pro could have handled 1440p here easily with HDR, 30 FPS, but you guys didn't utilize that. You guys didn't give us that option. You just gave us this 1080p 60 option. Now you're going to say, but it's a performance mode. It's 1080p. Well, that's the problem. You want us to pay $60 for a new game that only supports 1080p. I can't, dude. I can't support it because that shows me how lazy you are. That shows me that you don't care. You just want to grab a quick cash. There's a lot of people out there who have 4K TV. There's a lot of people out there who purchased the Xbox One X or trade in their old Xbox to purchase the Xbox One X or PlayStation 4 Pro with their 4K television because they want to take the advantage of these new games in a high resolution and HDR. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that, ID Software, and you didn't do that, Avalanche Studios. And this is why I boycott you. I'm not saying this is a terrible game. It's not a terrible game, but it's not the great game either. It's somewhere in between. It's like 7. Okay, I'll be fair. I'll give it a 7. All right? You can still have fun with this game. I can have fun with anything. I can have fun watching my coffee brew. That's not the point. The point here is for $60, we deserve better on the console. But you're going to say, but look at the PC. Well, that's not the point. Again, I just said earlier, I mentioned it. How many of you can afford $1,000 ultra-wide monitor? How many? How many of you can afford a $3,000 PC? How many? How many of you can afford $1,500 RTX 2080 Ti graphics cards? How many of you can afford that? I rest my case. I'm talking about majority. I'm not just speaking for myself or for some high rollers who have money. I'm speaking for majority of the gamers out there. Their only experience is through the console. You, ID Software and Avalanche Studios and the publisher Bethesda, you should have given us the option between performance mode and high resolution mode. You couldn't even implement HDR. People say there's HDR in this game. I was like, dude, where is the HDR? I can't find it on the PC, and I sure as hell don't see anyone talk about it on the console version either. Where is this hidden HDR? This secret HDR that I need to unlock, where is it? Okay, guys, come on. If you want to prove me wrong, show it to me. Where's the HDR? And I'll be more than happy to say, oops, my bad, I'm sorry. I missed on that one. I missed on that one. Until I can see that video. Now, people are going to say, but did you have fun? Yeah, I had fun, but it's not kind of a fun I would pay $60 for. And again, this is the PC version. I'm going to wait for the PC version to drop down to 29. Once it drops down to 29, then I'm going to buy it again on Steam. Same thing goes with the console version. When it drops down to 29, I'll get both versions on the console, and I'm going to live stream it when it drops down to 29, so I'll get both games for $60. You know, it's not too late. Here's my message to ID Software and Avalanche Studios and Bethesda, the publisher. It is not too late. Guys, it is not too late for you to implement high resolution mode and performance mode. Patch it up with like 4.8 gigabyte update. Give us the option between high resolution, dynamic resolution, and HDR, and then 1080p 60. Give us the option between performance mode and high resolution mode with the HDR. Give us that option. And if you give me that option, Bethesda and Avalanche Studios and ID Software, if you give me that option, I guarantee you, you're going to have my cash. If you give me that option on the console. So you still have a chance to take my $60 if you give me the option to choose between high resolution mode, HDR, and then performance mode. Okay. So that's my only complaint. And this is the main reason I'm making this video. Because a lot of people are confused. Like, they don't understand, like, what's going on? Like, you know, out of all the people we didn't expect to hear from you to not support this game. Like, what's going on? Well, this is what's going on. On this video, I'm explaining to you why I refunded the PC version and why I stick to my principles. Because I believe that the developers here were lazy enough not to put better treatment onto a console version. And they know that this is 2019. They know that a lot of people have 4K televisions, Xbox One X, and PlayStation 4 Pro. I mean, they know that. They knew that. And they still were lazy enough to at least give us the option. I'm not saying you should force me to dynamic resolution 30 FPS, but you should at least give people the option. Give people the option. Why is that so difficult to give people the option to choose between performance mode and high resolution mode? I think every game, guys, every game on today's standard should have this option for you to switch between performance mode and high resolution mode. This is really not that difficult to do, ID Software. And especially from ID Software, this is why I'm disappointed. This is coming from a company that created a Doom. ID Software. Not so much the Avalanche Studios. I don't expect much from Avalanche Studios. But from ID Software, I was really disappointed. Like, you guys brought us Wolfenstein and Doom. And you surprised me with 1900p on the Xbox One X and 1440p on the PlayStation 4 Pro version. But where you disappoint me was in this game, Rage 2. Like, what happened? Like, how did this happen? You had plenty of time to patch this game up. You had plenty of time to give us the option between performance mode and a high resolution mode. I'm pretty sure that Digital Foundry would agree with me. If Richard was sitting here with me, he would say, yeah, I do agree. Yeah, they should give us the option between performance mode and high resolution mode. And it's a bit disappointing a company like this has missed out on that boat to give us the high resolution mode along with the performance mode. So for those of you who want the performance, fine, you can have your 1080p 60. For those of you who want to enjoy the clarity and better textures and graphics with HDR at 30 FPS, for those of you, you can switch to a high resolution mode. And that was my whole point that I was trying to bring about when this game was released. But people didn't get that. Some people didn't understand that. I'm trying to help you. I want you guys to have a better deal. These companies, they have more money than gods. Okay, they got money. They can make these games look awesome. Especially games that are coming from ID Software and Bethesda. They got money. Okay, but they choose not to do so. They choose not to do so to give us that option on the console version. So that's how I feel about the Rage 2. There you have it. This was the video I recorded on the PC version when it came out. I was running everything at the ultra settings, at the 3840 by 1080, and I was getting like I was getting 58 to 59. It wasn't completely a 60 FPS experience, but it was like 59, 58, 57, 57, 58, 59. That's what I was looking at, but it was still enjoyable. But then again, how many of you have actually a high-end PC, right? How many of you have a 50-inch ultra widescreen monitor that costs a lot of money? That's correct. So my message to ID Software and Avalanche Studios and Bethesda, give us a better treatment on the console. Okay? Give us the option at least to choose between dynamic resolution HDR and performance mode. Thank you for watching.